Hi everyone, I'm just going to look on my phone because I don't know if this is live or... Thank you. Thank you. I've just got comments come up. Thank you for joining me. I've come on today because I wanted to talk about the media. Now, many of you will know, with regards to the media, because I've said it before, they kept lying about our boy's story. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I really appreciate it. Hi, Holly, Patricia, Axum. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Annie. So, as I told many of you along the last 4.5 years, thanks, Diane, that the media lied about our boy's story. They kept giving the same version of the police. No matter how many interviews we spent with them, they would never print our story to you. So one of the stories I want to talk about, you can see the picture behind me. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this, hi Liam, Rosemary, the reason why I'm going to talk about this is every time I do a live, I will get some insect, police troll, police grass, some parasite, common purpose. And common purpose are people that are there for a common purpose. Come and post the link to this story that was in The Sun. It was in some other newspapers as well. Now, I've also got it here. I don't know if you can see it because when you put a background, it doesn't really show things you're holding. But this story here, it is a picture of Gerard Batten, me, and James Goddard. Now, this picture here, I was set up. I was set up for this picture. Now, I was at a demonstration. I went into the pub after, as everyone does, to sit, relax, and have a chat. And James come over to me because someone had just asked James if me and him could have a picture with Gerard Batten. I said, does he want a picture with me? And James said yes, and he can help with the boys' case. So me and James went over, had the picture taken, as you can see, or you can see if you look it up. He's wearing the boys' band. I don't know if you can see. Let me move. The boys' band and the boys' badge for that picture. As soon as that picture was taken, Gerard Batten walked off. He walked off, didn't speak to us about our case, has never helped with our case, has never mentioned our case whatsoever. It was a complete setup for that picture with me, so the media could then portray me as far right. They also write in that story that a campaign called Justice for Our Boys insists the boys were murdered. They were, by an Islamic terrorist who deliberately steered into them. That is totally true. It was a jihadi attack, to paint the picture more correctly. The only evidence for the outrage and completely unfounded claims seems to be the fact that the driver was Asian, although he is from a Hindu background rather than a Muslim. Total lie. On top of that, he has absolutely no links to terrorism. Now, they wiped the one that claimed to be the driver that night. They wiped all his social media accounts within 24 hours. But what they didn't do, they didn't wipe all the passengers' media. So when the passenger was posting a few days later saying hello to my new day brothers and my new night ones, don't you think we've got the screenshots of that? Don't you think that we have all the posts? Because you know we have all the posts from the passenger, from his media, because we showed you at a CPS meeting. On top of that, he had absolutely no links to terrorism, was drunk at the time of the crash. Well, if he was drunk at the time of the crash, why didn't you charge him with drink driving? Because you didn't. And had lost control of the car when he smashed into the boys, proving it wasn't a deliberate act. Well, even your own collision report and the witnesses that were at the scene told you he never lost control. What the police did was bring in their own fake witness, a Horace Miller, and you based everything on a fake witness that was never there, which can be proved. So I wanted to bring up this article that was in the Sun and this picture because the trolls, every time I do a live feed, post the link to this picture to put anybody new off watching my lives. And that's why they do that. Absolutely, Julie. There's loads. It's been going on for years. For years, the car has been used as a weapon. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is the letter that Nick Hurd wrote. Now, Nick Hurd wrote a letter to the Attorney General on the 1st of August 2019. In it, he wrote 4 points for a retrial, even though we have loads more than that, and you only need one of them, which is their fake witness. He wrote a letter, and he was the only man in the whole of the institutions who tried to help our case. The only one. Every time I asked for a meeting, Nick Hurd gave us a meeting. And then when we went in July to show Nick Hurd the evidence and he saw it for himself, some of the evidence, he then wrote that letter to the Attorney General. That letter was written on the 1st of August 2019. Then what happens? He writes the letter. I let everyone know about this letter. He also sent the letter to Boris Johnson, who did absolutely nothing. And not one Attorney General since then has ever even give us a courtesy reply. Even though one of those Attorney Generals quite recently wanted to be Prime Minister of this country. Is that someone you want as a Prime Minister? No. So, on the 31st of August, 30 days after Nick Hurd wrote that letter to the Attorney General for 4 points for a retrial in the murder of our boys, and he also wrote in that letter that he has also seen part of the evidence, and it now leaves doubt in his mind to the original conviction. He wrote that himself. Then what happens to Nick Hurd? He goes off to the Northern Ireland office and then he stands down. But 30 days later, what do the media do to Nick Hurd? They put in a story to say that Nick Hurd details was found in the little black book of Jeffrey Epstein. That is the story they done on Nick Hurd 30 days later. Well, I can tell you, Nick Hurd, if you ever get to see this live stream, that I don't believe it one bit. I know why the media did that. The media did that to distract what you had done for our boys and then to portray you as being in that vile man's little black book. I don't believe the story at all. I believe it to be fake. That's what the media do. That's how they blackmail people in higher offices in this country and around the world. They can make an innocent man look guilty and a guilty man look innocent, like they did in the murder of our boys. So I wanted to just come on today, just quickly explain this story behind me, because the trolls keep posting this link every time I do a live, every single time. I haven't gone anywhere, people. I'm still here. Just remember, the media are master manipulators in trying to get you to think a certain way. They care very little for the truth. They are only interested in advancing the latest agendas. They happily use the murder of our three boys' story to cover up the police's crime and the police involvement in it. They knew before we did, on the day of the first appearance at the Old Bailey, they knew what he was going to plea before we even got into the courtroom. It is infested and infected with evil. Thank you.